up YouTube, this is Tech here with another video. Today I'm bringing you the top tips and tricks on the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. I want to start by showing you guys how to turn off briefing, which is the flipboard version of Samsung. To do this, all you have to do is long press the home screen and swipe to the left and actually turn that toggle off. Next up, I want to show you guys how to prevent Google Play from adding apps to your home screen when you download them. So you want to go into Google Play, then you want to go into settings and make sure add icon to home screen is actually unchecked. This will actually prevent Google from adding every new app to your home screen. Now let's talk about themes. If you don't like the default TouchWiz integration of Samsung, you can actually make your phone look like stock Android with a theme. You can really make it look however you want. So you can see that I have Android 6.0 here. I only use it once in a while when I get bored of the themes that I'm using. I also have a TouchWiz Dark, which only changes the colors. You can see that they actually try to show you a good preview of how it's going to look like. Now I want to go over the basics on the always on display here. To start it off, I want to say that the always on display is always going to take 1% of your battery life throughout the day. So in an 8-hour stay, your device is going to eat only 8% of battery life. To activate this, you will need to go into the settings, then you want to go into display, and then you want to select always on display. Now you can see that you have a few simple options here, and as well as a preview. I also want to say that the always on display tells you the notifications that you have, but it doesn't support third-party apps yet. Samsung has that in the works. They actually implemented this into the Note 7, so I'm expecting this to be available in the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge later this year or early next year. You can actually set the always on display to come up only at a specific time throughout the day. You also have quite a few design options here. So when you select one, you can see that you could set a background on these. On this specific one that I'm showing you guys right now, you can actually set a color for the clock itself. So I can make it whatever color I want. What you're looking at right now is an example of how the always on display could look in your device. Then I want to show you how you can change the grid size on your device. All you have to do is long press the home screen. Then you're going to see the three different options you have: 4x4, 4x5, and 5x5. I usually always select the 4x4 just because I like to see bigger icons. Something else I want to show you guys is how to change colors on your folders. You can achieve this by opening up the folder, and on the top right of that folder you have a color option. Once you click on that, so you can choose from the colors that you have here. It's pretty useful if you want to color code your folders. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is pretty useful, especially when you want to move multiple apps from one screen to another. Now that's the whole purpose of it. So when you're going to move multiple apps from one screen to another, the first one always has to go to move apps. You want to long press it, and then you want to move the first one to move apps. So this is going to open an entire section on top, which is going to let you add more apps to it. So once you have all the apps that you want to move to the other screen here, swipe to the screen that you want and then drag those apps back into that screen. Next up is the camera quick launch. Now this is pretty useful in cases where you need to take a picture right away. All you have to do is double tap the home button to actually bring up the camera. Now if for some reason you lost this setting or actually unset it and you need to set it back, all you have to do from the camera is go into the settings. It's actually located on the top left. Then you want to scroll down to quick launch and make sure the toggle is actually turned on. Also in the same exact location, I want to show you guys how to change your video quality to 4K. You want to scroll up and look for video size. Once you click on video size, you want to make sure UHD is actually selected. This is going to give you a 3840 by 2160 resolution, which is 4K resolution. Now the only problem with this is that if you have 4K turned on, you can only record up to 10 minutes per video. Now, if you do need to take long videos, I would suggest to go back and set the quality to QHD. In addition to that, I want to show you guys how to make sure your images and videos are going straight to the SD card and not being saved on the device. All you have to do here is make sure that storage location is set to SD card and not device. Now you do need to have an SD card in order to do this. If you don't have one, I will suggest you to get one right now because it's pretty useful. Something else I want to cover in this video is the Edge panels. The Edge functionality only applies to the Edge version of the device. I personally don't use this as much as I should. I only use it for the weather and the calendar, but I do also have Task Edge here. You also have the option to set People Edge, which is 5 contacts and you assign different colors to them. And the good thing about the colors is that if your phone is actually facing down, if one of those contacts is calling, you're actually going to see the color of who's calling in the side of the screen. You can actually change the panels that you currently have. To edit this panels, you want to click on settings, which is located on the bottom left. As you can see, I only have 3 different panels set at this point. Let me show you guys how the task panel works. You can see that you have different actions such as the weather. You can also have actions create a calendar entry for you, and also you have an action to add an alarm. So let's test it out real quick. So let me click on the weather. You're going to see that that's going to take me straight to the weather. Now I want to go back and let's test the alarm one. As you can see, it took me straight to the alarm without me actually having to open the app at all. Now you could also reorder this. All you have to do is click more and then click on reorder. You have to press the top portion of it and move the panel to the left or to the right, depending on your liking. You also have the option to download more from the Samsung store. Some of these are paid and some of these are actually free. Next up, I want to show you guys how to use the one-handed operation. For this, you want to go into the settings, then you want to go to advanced features and click on one-handed operation. So here you have 2 different options. The first one is reduce screen size. For these, you want to triple tap the home button and it actually makes the screen size smaller. Then you have the one-handed input, which is going to work on the dialer, calculator, and apps like that. So now that I have it on, I want to triple tap on the home screen so that you guys can see how it looks like. You can see that I now have the option to move it to the left or to the right. You could justify this depending on your needs. Now to go back to full screen, all you have to do is click on return to full screen. And let's test out the one-handed input with the calculator here. You can see here that I could justify this to the left or to the right depending on my needs. If I'm using the left hand, I'm probably going to justify it to the left. If I'm using the right hand, I justify it to the right side. The next thing I want to show you guys is how to change the default apps that you have on the lock screen. Those showing at the bottom corners, left and right. By default, you get the phone dialer and the camera on the right side, but you can always change this to whatever you want. To do this, all you have to do is go into the settings. Then you want to go into lock screen and security, and then you want to click on info and app shortcuts. Then you want to click on app shortcuts. You can see here that you have 2 different options, one for the left shortcut and one for the right shortcut. Now if you do want to override the default, all you have to do is select the app that you want, and that's going to automatically replace it. Next, I want to show you how to change permissions on a per app basis. The first thing you want to do is go to settings, then you want to click on applications, and then you want to select application manager. I'm going to select Android Pay here just to show you guys an example of it. You can see that Android Pay could access your camera, location, your phone, and the storage if you let it. Right now I'm not currently using this app at all, so I came here and turned off all these different permissions. It's really up to me as to when these apps have different permission levels. Now in the same exact menu, I want to show you guys how to actually disable apps. As you can see here, Amazon came pre-installed on my device. I'm using the T-Mobile version. I had to disable a few apps actually, not just this one. But this is just an example of how you could turn it off. Now all you have to do is go into the app and you can actually disable it. Now I want to show you guys how to change the quick settings that appear at the top of the notification bar. You can actually reorder these however you want. All you have to do is actually click on edit. Once you click on edit, you can actually drag the ones that you want to the top. I always recommend that you have the ones that you use the most at the top. That way you have faster access to it. Also, if you guys have the T-Mobile version of this device, I want to show you how to get rid of Quick Connect. This is actually active by default when you get it out of the box. But you could change this as well if you click on edit and make sure the toggle is actually set to off on Quick Connect. And last but not least, I want to show you guys how to change the quick settings on the settings app itself. As you can see here, I currently have 9 different quick settings set. 9 is actually the max. You can't do more than 9, but you can actually do less than 9 if you want. And remember, these are quick settings. You always want to do the ones you use the most here. You don't want to put things that you don't really use. And guys, this is pretty much it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this one. Also subscribe. I have a giveaway coming up in the next few weeks. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I will leave the links down below in the description. And as always, catch me in the next video.